Hi, welcome back. I'm Francesca.
And I'm Anna. This is your Wednesday morning Good Morning KU show.
How are you?
Doing good. Halloween was this past weekend.
How was your Halloween weekend?
It was fun. First Halloween weekend in Lawrence, so definitely interesting. How about you?
I actually went home this weekend, but it was still a lot of fun. I'm getting excited for basketball season starting.
Yes, tonight is the first game. Are you planning on going?
I am. How about you?
Not sure yet. It's a Wednesday night, so I might have to do some homework, but I'm going to try to go if I can.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. Something kind of different this year is that we have a whole bunch of traditions at KU, and freshmen and sophomores don't really know these traditions yet.
That is true. I know we have a how-to video about the confetti cone, so we'll show that.
Yeah.
How to make a KU confetti cone. Step 1. Get ready for some KU basketball and grab the University Daily Kansan. Step 2. Head to Allen Fieldhouse and prepare to make the confetti cone. Step 3. Fold the paper hot dog style and slide a corner to the middle of the page. Step 4. Roll one side to the other side to form your cone. Step 5. Rip the leftover paper into long strands, then proceed to tear into smaller pieces. Step 6. Drop the torn pieces into the cone. Now enjoy your confetti cone at the game. Rock chalk.
So that is that tradition. So for you underclassmen, now you know one of them going into tonight's game.
Yes, that's always important. On a more sad note, Jalen Wilson, one of KU's basketball players, was charged with a DUI this weekend. Coach Self released his punishment.
We're going to suspend him tomorrow's game, exhibition game. We're going to suspend him the first 3 games of the regular season. And he will also serve community hours during his suspension and do some community service. So that's what we have decided, and certainly think that's fair, and certainly hate to have to do it at all, but the decision he made was obviously very poor. He's owned it. He's acted like a man, and he's determined to spin it into a positive over time in some way, shape, or form. And I know he'll work hard to do that. So that's what's going to happen with Jalen.
Yeah. So not great for everyone on the team. Kind of a weird way to start off the basketball season.
For sure. He did release an apology on social media, so hopefully we'll see him back.
Yeah, so it'll be an interesting way to start up the season. Next up, we have Kate interviewing Elizabeth.
Yes, and then we have 2 prospective KU students, JP and Taylor, who will be reading today's news.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Welcome back. I'm Kate, and I'm joined by my friend and fellow classmate Elizabeth Walters, who writes for the University Daily Kansan. So, Elizabeth, tell me a bit about yourself and how you got involved with the Kansan last year.
Hi, Kate. Thank you for having me. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm studying journalism on the news and information route. I started writing for the Kansan my first semester of freshman year. I remember I got involved after a fellow member came to one of my journalism classes.
Yeah, so do you write for a particular section of the Kansan, and how did you get involved with that?
Yeah, so I write for the arts and culture section. Last year I did a little bit more news, but I've decided that I'm more interested in writing about arts and culture. I got involved I wrote for Chalk a little bit last year, and Caroline McCone is the editor of Arts and Culture, so I got involved with it.
So I know that things are still like online mostly for the Kansan this year, especially now that there aren't many print editions, but what changes have you seen regarding writing for arts and culture? Like, are there more events to go to around Lawrence that you could write about? Or, like, I know you had a recent story about a gallery, so tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so it's definitely different from last year. This year I've been able to actually meet some of the people that I've interviewed rather than just them kind of existing in my laptop, and it's also fun to be able to actually go to these events. This Friday, I know me and you went to the Phoenix Gallery, which was really fun to check it out and get to meet the artist in person.
Yeah, I agree. It's really nice to be able to talk to people in person this year rather than just over Slack or over email, like you said. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Elizabeth, and sharing your involvement with the Kansan. We'll be right back with the news.
Thanks for having me, Kate.
No one takes drugs expecting to become addicted. You should know that addiction can happen to anyone because it's a disease of the brain. That also means recovery is possible. Addiction doesn't have to be permanent, and the state of Kansas is ready to assist you in every step of the way. Visit findtreatment.gov or call the Kansas Substance Abuse Referral Line at 866-645-8216.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back. I'm Taylor. And I'm JP, and this is your Wednesday Good Morning KU News Update. The Republican Party gained the biggest victory in yesterday's midterm elections. News outlets are proclaiming Glenn Youngkin as the winner of the race for governor of Virginia. Youngkin had the backing of former President Trump, while Democratic candidate Terry McAuliffe had been supported by President Biden.
Locally, Lawrence City Commissioner Laura Lawrenson held on to her position by getting the most votes in the commission race. The two newcomers will join the commission as Bart Littlejohn and Amber Sellers also received enough votes to oust incumbent Stewardess Volley.
School districts across the country are suffering from a shortage of employees, including teachers. Locally, the Lawrence School District is seeing a rise in the number of teachers leaving their jobs in the middle of the year. Spokeswoman Julie Boyle told Lawrence Journal World that the district has seen a number of resignations increase since the pandemic began.
Current students might not be used to seeing the University Daily Kansan in its print format, but for many KU graduates, it was a daily ritual to pick up the newspaper on the way to class. But now that the UKD has moved to an online-first format, there is no need for the blue distribution boxes that are scattered across campus. The boxes are now scheduled to be removed beginning this week.
The United States Supreme Court will hear oral arguments for the Texas abortion law that was put in place on September 1st. Judges will be looking at the unusual way in which Texas chose to enforce this law and isn't focusing on revoking the law. Under this law, private citizens who can report anybody who is suspected of breaking the law and can be rewarded up to $10,000 for turning others in.
The Oxford Dictionary has declared the word vax as its 2021 word of the year. Vax was used 72 times more frequently than it was last year, and well, I wonder why. So whether you're saying anti-vaxxed, vaxxed, or double vaxxed, this word has found its way into our vocabulary more than ever before.
In sports, both the football and soccer teams lost this weekend. While the volleyball team split with Oklahoma, and the men's and women's cross-country teams placed 5th and 6th, respectively. Both of the men's and women's basketball teams played controlled scrimmages on Saturday, and the men's season will get underway tonight at the exhibition game against Emporia State.
Good luck. The volleyball team split with Oklahoma last weekend to run their record to 12-9. The Jayhawks will play 2 games at West Virginia before hosting TCU for 2. The regular season will end with 2 more on the road to K-State before Selection Sunday for the NCAA tournament.
And that will wrap it up for today's news update. After the break, Halen will be there to tell us how cold it's really going to get this week, especially for tonight's basketball game.
And speaking of that cold, talk about that fog rolling into KU.
Taylor, you know what they say. Beware of the fog. Have a good one, Jayhawks.
Yeah, I always just clap in this part.
This is where everyone's talking amongst themselves. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do it?
Are we supposed to smile?
When do we start? Somebody over here already started.
Can we talk about the piccolo part? It's the most complicated one.
It is. If you listen, you're doing it when the band's not playing.
You have to tell me when it starts. I still don't know.
Here we go. Just clapping now. No humps.
Nailed it.
I practiced this morning. Tomorrow was just 2 people.
It has a right and a wrong way of doing it. No. Wrong.
I like my way better.
I don't know how to
1,
do
2,
the
3,
end.
4.
It's just I don't know the
Sorry.
head.
That's great.
It's hard by yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Haynes Olathe here with your weather forecast for this evening. A couple of the headlines I'm going to be talking about today. We've got cool weather so far for the next couple days, although we're going to be eventually starting to see a little bit of a gradual warming up going towards the end of this week. Also going to be staying on the drier side for this week as well, and going to be taking a look ahead into next week and maybe looking at the possibility of a chance of rain or snow making its way into the forecast, but still a little bit on that iffy side, but still going to take a look at it. But so far, one thing I wanted to bring up besides we didn't quite see any kind of snow in the area the other day on Monday. We only got to see rain showers in the area, though parts of Kansas City did get to see a few flurries get in a mix, at least mixed in with some of those rain showers we saw on Monday. But the real people who did get to see a lot of snow was in Nebraska, seeing a lot of snow on Monday night, or at least I should say early Monday morning, in those early morning hours, seeing a lot of snow-packed roads. And check out these snow totals already for the beginning of November. 7.5 inches of snowfall recorded in Sutherland, Nebraska. 7.5 inches also recorded in Grant, Nebraska as well, and holding on to those 6.1 inches in Hershey, Nebraska as well. A lot of snow for November, although don't have to worry about any kind of snowfalls for today, as we're going to be seeing mostly sunny conditions, a little bit on the cooler side with temperatures hanging up at least a high of 49 degrees for today. No precipitation, and winds pretty relatively calm for this evening, and looking to stay relatively calm going into this evening, and we'll stay in those lower 40s going into the evening hours, and eventually kicking down into those upper 30s, 38 degrees by 11 o'clock. If you're going to be out for the KU basketball game tonight, definitely want to wear that little bit of a heavier jacket for tonight, as it may be a little bit on the chillier side, and definitely into tonight, as we'll be at a low of 33 degrees, just 1 degree shy of that freezing point. Overall, very chilly night ahead for us. Definitely want to wear that heavier coat out for tonight and tomorrow morning as well, but definitely won't need it for too much longer, as we'll be at a high of 53 degrees for tomorrow. Mostly sunny conditions. winds. Overall, very pleasant out for our Thursday, and looking to stay relatively, as much for dry for the rest of this week and going into the weekend. But just taking a look at least our next possible system by next Wednesday and even into early Thursday as well. Going to be watching for this low pressure system swinging on by. Could see that a cold front going to be swinging on through in our area. Could see the possibility of some showers and possibly a few snowflakes trying to make in. It all has to depend on where these blue lines are going to be. These blue lines are what indicate where it's going to be below freezing, and when it's below freezing, that's when we get snow. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on the system as it will track through later on mid next week. But so far, it is still a very low chance at that, but still something to keep a consideration going into next week. And just to look at the 6 to 10 day outlook, temperatures as before, they're going to start warming up, and we're going to stay a little bit more on the at least slightly above our average temperatures going in for the next several of days. And precipitation looks to be relatively dry as well. And the 7-day forecast is going to show us just that. Plenty of sunshine to work with for the rest of this week. We'll be slowly climbing into those lower and mid 50s, and then by Saturday we'll finally break into those lower 60s. 64 degrees are high on Saturday. The KU K-State football game should be a relatively great afternoon and evening to have that game. And also Sunday, 66 degrees, getting just even a little bit warmer. Also daylight savings time from Sunday, still great weather ahead for us. I'm going to be climbing into those upper 60s eventually by next Tuesday, and then we're still going to be continuing to keep an eye on that next system going into next Wednesday and Thursday. But so far, a really dry and relatively pleasant week ahead for us. And as before, daylight saving time is on Sunday. Be sure to set your clocks back 1 hour so at least you'll get an extra hour of sleep, but just keep an eye on that. Now that's all I have this weather forecast. Stay tuned for more KUJH news.